Hi there, I've got a lovely what I call layering card. So we're going to use several of the different dies from the release and layer them up and show you just how easy it is to do. I'll introduce what I'm going to be using. From our Mini Expressions range, I have the Congrats. That's a nice bold saying, so it looks really good in the middle of your dies. I'm going to be using the center of the Caroline die to seat my sentiment on. The lovely Nina die is going to be the base of the focal element. And from the beautiful Hydrangea, I'm actually just going to use this little leaf here because I just think it's really nice. I'm going to add a floral element with the Starlight Daisy, and I'm going to be using this little one. We'll show you how you can glitter that up and give it a little shape. And the lattice edging die is going to give us a really pretty frame for our card. Okay, let's pop these to the side. Now I am using some cobalt blue card, and I'll give you a quick measurement on that. It is 4 7/8 by just a hair over 6 1/4. And what I've done is I've gone ahead and cut the lattice edging die. I've used this piece here with the cutting edge to give me these two pieces, and I've used this piece here, kind of reminds me of a like a clock on a mantelpiece, to give me these two pieces here. So I'm going to go ahead and use a bit of spray glue on these. We'll get them all tacky. And I'm going to set them aside and just let it set up for a second while we get them all sprayed. There's the two larger ones. There we go. And there's the side and the other side piece. Okay, so what I also want to do is add a bit of glue to those. I'm going to go back in with my Cosmic Shimmer glue and add just some beads around to make sure it's good and stuck down. The spray glue is lovely that it allows you to kind of move things around, but it isn't quite as permanent as I like, so put a little glue on that. A couple bits here in the corner, that should help. There we go. And along this piece. These fine applicators are lovely for this. And this piece. There we go. Okay, it should do the trick now. So what we want to do is add the top, the larger pieces to the top and bottom of our card. So I'm just going to lean in and line this up. See if I can get it nice and even with the edge there. That looks pretty good. Pop that one on. There we go. It's quite pretty just like that. Okay, but I thought what I would do is just bring in the side pieces to kind of overlap and really give you a beautiful frame for your card. There we go. Line that one up and get this one centered on there and move that up just a hair. I'd like it to be exactly even with the one across from it. That looks pretty good. There we go. That glue really helps it stick down nicely. So I've got a really lovely base for my card there. So I'm going to go ahead and put it onto my base piece. I've used the piercing ruler to give myself that pretty frame and a thin blue mat to bring in that color. Get this put into place, and I will give you a quick measurement. There we go. So the overall measurement on the card is going to be 6 1/4 by 7 1/2. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is put the Nina together. Now I've cut the Nina It's kind of an unusual die in that it's not symmetrical top to bottom, but it's more symmetrical like side to side. So I've used the outer cutting piece, which has some lovely pierced detail on it, and the inner piece to cut my white. And then I've used just the outer piece to cut the blue. So I'm going to go ahead and put these two together. And bring in some glue. We're going to just make sure it stays on there nice and strong. I'm going to add a little bit of Cosmic Shimmer glue around it. There we go. That should do the trick. Pop that into place. Let me get it on there. It's easier to do if you hold it and kind of line it up together. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? Just love the way that looks. So I've got some mounting foam on the back. I'm going to raise that one up in the center. And that is going to sit right in the middle. There we go. Now, I'm going to use the Caroline die to have something to seat our sentiment on, but I'm just using the inner piece there. I've got a little piece of cobalt blue. I'm going to cut that out of. Pop that onto our cardstock. I'm going to tape it down, just center that right in the middle there, and I think I'll use 2 pieces. There we go. Give it a quick run through. There we go. Use a little bit of our Tool-in-One. We'll take out some of those fall away bits. Oh, there we go. And put that back into place on our magnetic sheet. And tidy these up. So you can see I've got a really pretty, just a platform for my sentiment there. We use a little bit of mounting foam on that. Okay, bring that back in. We'll seat it right across, sideways across the center of Nina. Okay, and I've got 2 of the congrats, one in white, and I've doubled that, and one in black. So I'm going to just put a little spray on the back of this one. We're going to shadow it. There we go. Sometimes your sentiments move a little bit because they're not quite as solid. So it's just up to you to kind of layer it across and catch the lettering. There we go, that's looking pretty good. Spray glue allows you to kind of move it a little bit if you want. Put this one in just a tiny bit more. There we go. Give it a good press. And I think I'll just use some Cosmic Shimmer glue on the back and we'll seat that. It's quite a thin die in spots, but there's some real nice chunky spots in some of the bigger letters that you can add your glue to. There we go. That should do the trick. Seat that right across the middle there. There we go. So that really stands out nicely. We'll give that a second to set up, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with the flower. So I've cut 2 of the smallest Starlight daisies. So what I'm going to do is spray both of these with adhesive. Set that there. There we go. I'm going to add a pearl to one of them, and I've decided to go with an 8mm pearl right in the center. And you want to put that on before you do the next step, because otherwise it doesn't want to stick. I'm going to bring over a piece of copy paper here. Pop them both on there. There we go. And I'm going to use the Frosted Sparkle Glitterbitz. Now I'm going to go ahead and put it all over this one. There we go. Give that a second. And on this one, I'm going to try and avoid the center of that. It just makes it easier to glue together. So I'm going to kind of go around the edge and get the petals. Go. That'll work. And I'm going to add a bit of glue in the middle of that just to have it start to set up and get tacky. Leave that, and we'll put this back into our container. Okay, so now I'm going to bring this over. So I'm just going to work from the top, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a crease over between each of those petals. Okay, just crease it. Give it a little pinch, and then fold it around my finger. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of dimension that way. So you've got something that looks really pretty like that. I've moved my pearl a little bit. There we go. Let's get that back there. Same thing with this one. I'm going to try and avoid my, my glue there. Just give it a little bit of a fold. Pinch it and almost line up the petals as you go around, and just give it a little pinch. There we go. And then same thing, give it just a bit of fold around the finger as you go. Okay, now we're going to offset this one in the middle. There we go. Give that a second to set up. And that should be okay. Bring our card back in. And we're going to add some glue to the back of these leaves as well. So I'll get that started. Get that nice and tacky. And I'll seat the flower with a glue dot. Pop that right onto the back here. And we're going to just seat that right down, just a little bit offset from our sentiment. Same thing with our leaves. We can give them a little bit of forming. Pop them underneath. Do this one. I've got a bit of glue. That will stick really, really nicely. So you've got a really lovely flower, just a small little accent there to add to your card. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and look for us on our YouTube channel. We have so many more videos for you. Don't forget, subscribe.